7:14 on a beautiful November 10th. Members of FAD, Families Against Distractive Driving. Michelle, I'll let you take the lead here.
Good morning. How are you?
Pull that microphone just a hint closer there. Get it better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, real well.
How are you this morning?
Good.
We have
Michelle
some exciting news.
Okay.
FAD has partnered up with the Mountain Home High School East program, and Hunt Nassari and Taylor Hasselwander took on the challenge of applying for the State Farm Celebrate My Drive campaign for a chance to win a $100,000 grant for the school. And we have just recently learned yesterday that their submission is in the top 100 submissions.
How do we push it closer to the top?
Well, now we need people to go online and vote at celebratemydrivealltogether.com and choose the state. And then there's only 3 submissions for the state of Arkansas. And, of course, Mountain Home High School Career Academies is how it's listed. And the top 100 schools, the schools who come out with the most votes, the 22 schools who come out with the most votes will win a $100,000 grant for their school. So we're pretty excited. We just need votes.
Celebrate My Drive. Okay, vote. Okay. You keep talking.
You're going to vote?
I'm going to
vote. Well, I'm going to let Hunt and Taylor talk and explain why they wanted to do this.
I'm going to let Taylor take that over because she's the one who pulled me into it.
I've always really been into against distractive driving, and I thought it'd be nice to do an East project with FAD, and I called Michelle, and she told me about the $100,000 grant, and then I got Hunt to help me with all the technology stuff, and then he made the video.
So basically we had to submit a video that was under 30 seconds that kind of illustrated the whole theme of Celebrate My Drive, which is Drive 2 and 2, which is 2 hands on the wheel, 2 eyes on the road. And we just made a short little video and submitted it and hoped for the best. And then next thing we know, we were in the top 100. So now basically what we need is everybody to vote. You can vote once a day, once per an email, and it's for the rest of the week. So it's super important for people to vote if we want to have a chance right now. Right now I think we're 80th, somewhere around 80th place right now. And of course that's divided between large schools and small schools. But we still need to get up there so we have a chance at the money for our school.
You're up against Sylvan Hills and Wynn High School in Wynn, Arkansas, I see. Yeah.
And we are considered to be a large school, so we definitely need people to go out and vote. And like Hunt said, this week, it's a short window, just the 9th, which was yesterday, through Friday till midnight Central Standard Time. And we just really need to keep the momentum going and get people that are dedicated to voting every day, because time is of essence to seize this opportunity and hopefully get in the top 22.
Talk a little bit about. Go ahead, Sheila.
Well, can you hear me? Okay.
Take that. The microphone's wrong in the stand. Turn it counterclockwise in the mouth. There, that'll be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you're watching TV and you see all the commercials now, as well as on Facebook. I think people are beginning to realize how important it is to focus on the road, to focus on your driving.
There's enough, how can I say this, distractions while driving.
Exactly.
Try driving through Mountain Home at 11:30, 11:45, 10 after 12. Yeah, just grab a hold of your cell phone and go to Gavin, where you're going from here, say to Wendy's or Pizza Hut or up the hill to Burger King.
Exactly. And I know Michelle at times feel like she's alone fighting this beast, whatever you want to call it. But I tell you, Michelle, your hard work is paid. I mean, look, we have these 2 high school. I mean, I'm proud of both of them. I've known Taylor since she was a little girl coming into my house next door. She would come and hang out with me. But again, it's really neat to see two of our Mountain Home students that this already, I mean, so young, and they realize it's a problem. Mm-hmm. And it is a problem. It is a problem. It's like drinking and driving. It is a problem. And I'm just extremely proud of these two. I'm extremely proud of what Michelle has done. It's not a losing battle, Michelle. It's not. You're gaining ground.
Well, remember Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Exactly.
That took, 20 some odd years from the inset, from the death of the daughter that was hit by a drunk driver, just to get it through,
mm-hmm.
all the bells and whistles to get that awareness. It used to be, television used to highlight drinking as comedy.
Right.
And you don't see that as much anymore.
No.
And so we got to take the seriousness of whether you're using alcohol or using the cell phone while driving.
Right.
Serious.
Well, and I guess because I am more aware, I do notice other people a lot more.
Sheila, I was on I-40 between Jackson, Tennessee, and Nashville. Mm-hmm. If you've ever driven that highway, the speed limits are merely a suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and exactly. I mean, literally, I'm doing like 74 miles an hour on cruise just to keep from getting run over. And here's this guy coming up behind me, and he's in the passing lane. He has to be doing somewhere between 85 and 95 miles an hour. He's in the left lane, not paying a bit of attention. Mm-hmm. He blows by me like I'm standing still, and he's on the cell phone.
Yeah.
And I-40 between Jackson and Nashville is not the road to be doing that on.
Right. No. It actually nowhere. I mean, there's
true. Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. It's even when I'm driving in the like in Little Rock, which I often do.
You're a brave woman.
But I mean that's part of my business is there, and I tell you, I just can't tell you how proud I am of these two. Wow.
Well, I think one of the first things when Taylor and I spoke, she said, I realize that this is a problem among my peers, and I want to take a stand, and I want to try to bring attention to this. And, I can sit here all day and talk and be on radio, be on TV, but it takes a lot for a young person to stand up and be an example to them, to their peers, and to others around them. And I really applaud them for their efforts. And I definitely hope that, and we're going to do all that we can to get in the top 22. But in my eyes, they've already won. Mm-hmm. Just by doing what they've done.
Wouldn't it be great, though, to get that grant?
Yeah,
Boy,
it
would be.
Yeah.
We'd have to have a special day.
But we could call the mayor. Michelle, you want to explain the history of Families Against Distractive Driving?
Well, FAD, which stands for Families Against Distractive Driving, was started in honor of my nephew, Grant Pyle, who was a passenger in a vehicle, and his friend was distracted by his phone. It happened August 31st of 2013. FAD was started July 2014, like I said, in his honor. He was one of the top 6 male swimmers in the state of Arkansas, 2.5 weeks into his senior year, and just seconds and a cell phone changed his life forever. So,
Was he thrown from the vehicle?
He was thrown from the vehicle. Neither the driver or himself had their seatbelt on, but he's over 6 feet tall. And if I'm a huge advocate of seatbelts. I used to work for 2 major insurance companies and handle automobile claims. Huge advocate, but if he would have had his seatbelt on that day, we probably wouldn't have him because the passenger side of the truck was crushed very severe. So I think he would have been crushed if he had a seatbelt on and if he had not been thrown from the vehicle.
Wow.
Yeah. So just to drive home the point from State Farm's view, drive 2 and 2 is a simple habit. 2 eyes on the road, 2 hands on the wheel. And this can help reduce distracted driving and help new drivers build confidence on the road at the same time. Car crashes are the number 1 killer of teens. And the first year of driving is the most dangerous. So Drive 2 and 2 was created in an effort to combat this epidemic and raise awareness about the importance of teen driver safety. So I encourage you to go out and vote, support these young people in their efforts to bring awareness about texting and driving and distractive driving, and go to celebratemydrive.com.
I'm still trying to get it to take my... There it goes.
Did you finally get your vote in?
Well, I'm working on it.
And
That's why I nicknamed my computer Speedy.
I will say yesterday they had some problems with the website, so keep trying. Don't get discouraged. Probably around 8 or 9 it got a little bit faster. So or if you're real, a late night owl or early morning, as you're sitting there drinking your coffee, go online and vote. And share.
Y'all keep talking. I'm doing it. Come on. You got 3 more minutes.
Yeah, when you vote, you have to make sure you put in your email address, your date of birth. I guess you have to be over 14 to vote. And then you have to go to your email and verify your vote, too. You can't just type in your email and hit vote. So that's really
I've got 3 email addresses.
Well, I mean, then maybe 3 votes might be put in for one person. I don't know. But, yeah, that's super important that you go and verify it. And just the whole cause behind it, preventing distracted driving. I mean, it's, like State Farm said, it's one of the leading causes of death for teens. And, there's a lot of issues that get talked about in the country, but car crashes that's a huge killer in the country. And anything to prevent that, because a lot of them are preventable because people are distracted. A couple months ago, I was driving down the road, stopped at a stop sign, turned left, and someone blew through the stop sign and hit me. They were in the grade below me. They had a couple people in the car. I'm sure they were distracted, and they just went right through the stop sign. So this whole campaign's not just about texting and driving. It's just it's about being focused on the road. And I mean, there's so much going on.
That can go from people of all ages,
Yeah.
From first-year drivers to people like me who've been driving for 40 years,
I mean, yeah, the other day, someone blew through a stoplight in the morning, almost hit my dad, because they were texting on their phone. I mean, it just, people aren't paying attention. I mean,
True.
When you're going 60 miles an hour down a road, I mean, looking away from your phone is like missing, 200 feet of just road.
Wow. And like we said before, I mean, distracted driving is eating, talking on your cell phone, posting on Facebook, putting your makeup on, shaving. There's all different things. Changing the radio station, having kids in the car, young kids, and even, a lot of other people in the car. So just try to keep your mind focused on what you're doing before you change a life. And that life may be yours, or it may be someone else's. I'm doing this because I don't want anyone to experience what my nephews had to go through, and what our families had to go through. If we can do this and change one person's driving habits and save one life, then it was all worth it.
Yes.
Final 30 seconds before we go to break. Somebody?
Taylor?
Just vote online and just help us out, I guess, mostly.
Yes.
It would be nice getting that grant. I'm still trying to get it. There must be a lot of people trying to vote.
Yeah, it's experience high.
High volume. Yeah. I've got the email address in there. Won't take the birthday yet. So.
What? Do they believe your birthday?
Yeah, I said, oh my gosh, you're kidding.
He's still alive?
He's got a pulse.
That may be the problem, Dale.
I am the oldest one here. All right.
So once again, go to celebratemydrive.com. Hopefully you'll have better luck than Dale getting in.
There's the theme song. Time for the news. Be right back. 7:35. Michelle's eating a donut.
Is that payback for the birthday thing?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dale.
Well, I think he meant it because you were right in the middle of a bite at that moment.
Oh,
and you couldn't say hello.
Oh, okay. I don't think so, but anyway.
Gotcha. Busy with FAD, members of Families Against Distracted Driving. Check it out on Facebook, Families Against Distracted Driving. Type in FADD with no periods, and you'll bring it up on Facebook. So, Distracted Driving, Part 2. Tell about the legislative session and some of the processes you went through and some of the headaches and where we're at with that. You're going to go back at it in 17?
Yes. March of this past year, myself and my nephew, Grant, testified in front of the legislative committee. And the bill that was proposed was not exactly where I would have liked to have been with it. I wished it would have been stronger, but it was a starting point. Unfortunately, we lacked one vote getting out of committee. So we will petition the legislator again in 2017 and try to get a new bill through, and then, of course, ultimately hope to get the law changed. It's only a $100 fine.
Well, and I was talking...
For texting or using a handheld device.
Yeah. Mark Cooper's been here, Jason Duffy's been here, both for candidates for the judge position. And I said, from the parent's standpoint, we raised 4 boys, and you've got your share of speeding tickets and stop sign, well, they're 16, 17, and 18 going to school. Who pays the ticket? Mom and Dad. Okay, what 16, 17, 18-year-old kid's not going to look cool coming to school in their own car, going to have to ride the bus or get out of Mom's minivan? Say, whether it's Judge Duffy or Judge Cooper, hey, leave me your license here for 14 days. Come back and get them.
I agree. Yes. Mm-hmm.
The money, yes, the courts need the money. And I'll be critical of the courts sometimes because I say it's all about the money.
No, it's all about lives.
It's all about lives.
Exactly.
And whatever we need to do to enforce it. There's, like I said, there's a law on the books right now. It's called Paul's Law. And I don't know, a lot of people in Mountain Home cannot get Channel 7 out of Little Rock. But about 2 weeks ago, I was interviewed by Channel 7, and they also interviewed the lady who lost her fiance and who Paul's Law was written for. He was probably within 5 miles from home, and a car who the driver was texting ran into his car, and he was killed instantly. And I believe that was back in 2008, and then 2009, Paul's Law was passed. But it's a $100 fine for texting or using a handheld device.
And $100 is not going to stop it.
No. And even in that interview, the statistics were brought up that in the state of Arkansas, there was a little over 300 tickets for the whole state of Arkansas that were written for texting or using a handheld device. That's not very many tickets when you drive down the road and you see it almost in every car you pass. And, people are not trying to hide it. They normally have their phone up on the steering wheel. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to comprehend that when it's worse than drinking and driving. My nephew, in my nephew's case, the young man received $330 worth of fines and 120 hours of community service. And
so he leaves for 3 weeks, huh?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. And my nephew's looking at life in a wheelchair. So it's very disheartening to know that when you can prevent something. This is an accident that could have been prevented. It's very disheartening to know that when the prosecuting attorney told me, because of course I wasn't happy with that, he said, Michelle, your nephew would have had to been killed before there would have been significant consequences to his actions.
Isn't it a little bit too late for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're trying to go ahead, Sharon.
Well, I was going to tell you, there are apps now that parents can, we're not just, Michelle didn't start this to just, we have an advisory board. FAD has an advisory board. We have supporters. Our supporters are getting younger and younger, thank goodness.
It's good that young people are aware of the situation.
Exactly. And I don't think that Taylor or Hunt feels like, their parents are just preaching to them. Obviously it's a passion with both of them as well. They see it as young people. And, we're here to educate the public, to make them aware, to make them, when my little grandson, he doesn't text me, he uses the voice, and knowing that I was on my way down there, he said, Nani, I'll see you in a little while, but don't text and drive. Because he can do the voice text. And so, it's awareness. It's not just, we're not going to go away. It's not something that's going to go away. But there are apps that parents can also put on their children's phones, and it alerts them if they turn the app off, if they change the settings. Which I'm sure you guys know about those. There maybe not, but there are apps. There are apps that can be, controlled. If you're a parent, you've got, a 16-year-old learning to drive, give them a phone so they can tell you where they are. But if they do it while driving, it will alert you. There are ways.
Go ahead.
This past fall, I had the opportunity of speaking in front of all the driver's education classes at Mountain Home. And one of the first questions that I asked before I started doing my presentation was, how many parents have spoken to you about drinking and driving? How many parents have spoken to you about speeding? How many parents have spoken to you about texting and driving? And I was surprised. There was a good majority that said yes, they had, but I was surprised at the number that hadn't too. This is, like I said, dangerous. It's just as bad as drinking and driving. And we give our kids a cell phone early on in life. There's some kids even in second grade that I see with cell phones. And then when they turn 16, if you never have that conversation, then you're failing as a parent. That's a conversation you need to have, just like drinking and driving.
I think for me, of course, I grew up in Southern Illinois. My dad, totally different generation. The cars we had back then had an AM radio with 5 push buttons. It had heat and air. It's either heat, air, or off. So you didn't have a lot of distractions. Now you've got your guidance systems. You've got your OnStar, from GM, and XM radio and everything. You've got, the car will almost drive itself nowadays. But I'll never forget one time.
They do drive themselves.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of car manufacturers are, they've done a lot of things, especially in the past 5 years, permitting you from using navigation systems and all that stuff while the car's in motion. Thank God.
But for me, when we needed some parts for some of the cars that my dad and his uncles may have been repairing, we go to the salvage yard. And there's one down on Black Lane in Caseyville, Illinois. Now, here I am 7 or 8 years old, and oh my goodness, why is the left front wheel sitting out the back window? Yeah. Or why is the steering wheel shaft busted at the dashboard? And why is this engine sitting in the front seat? I've seen the cars damaged due to accidents and salvage yards. Take a kid through a salvage yard. Probably the one scene I'll never forget, and it happened here in Arkansas, an accident, seeing 2 face imprints in the windshield where they hit the windshield with their face. Mm. If that don't wake you up, nothing will. Yeah. But I've been to the salvage yard, and some of those I still remember from almost 50 years ago because the damage to the cars was so severe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a problem. Mm-hmm. It's a problem.
Good.
I think it's more of a problem we have. We know it's wrong, but I think you have to tell yourself not to text and drive. I think it's almost kind of like an addiction. You're so used to having your cell phone at all times. And I think if you just put it in your glove box or something, just put it in there and you don't even hear what's going on.
We used to travel in the 60s and 70s all across the country and didn't have to worry about, oh, did I leave the key under the mat or is somebody going to get the mail while I'm gone? We didn't worry about it. Or do we worry so much we have to have constant communication? Is that the problem?
I just think that we're just such a instant gratification, fast-paced society right now, and we're scared we're going to miss something, or we'll be out of the loop. And
well, I'm seeing here, like Sheila's got a phone here, you've got a phone here. I remember when we took a picture, we had to take 12 pictures, roll the film, put it in a mailer, and wait 7 days.
You're showing your age again, Dale.
I don't need to type it in here.
No.
Dale, I don't remember those days at all.
Well, you're just a spring chicken, Sheila.
Yeah.
But going back, we always say young kids. I was guilty.
Me too.
Not that I was very good at it, but before Grant's accident, I tried to text and drive and couldn't wait until, I got home or pulled over. Even I would, try to respond as soon as I got the text. And, it's not that important. Pull over. Latest statistics will even show that talking on your cell phone is just as bad as being legally impaired. So that's pretty scary too. Just stop and think, what you do behind the wheel and how it could change, like I said, change your life or change someone else's.
The blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye.
I tell you what, Dale, in the fast-paced world, now that I've got that app and I can drive to Little Rock quietly, it does kind of change your outlook, that you're not constantly answering the phone, worried about text. I'm decompressing now during that time to and from Little Rock.
Do you feel more relaxed when you drive?
You do.
Good.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Yes. So just
If you have to go to Little Rock, you need to be relaxed.
Well, right after we moved here, I made numerous trips back and forth to Little Rock, and there was times that I was on the phone the whole entire way.
Really?
And I would look up, and I would be in, Conway, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm here. Well, I gotta go," and time flew by when I was on the phone. But that was also scary that I didn't even realize what towns I'd been through, and how where I was at. You just sort of zone out.
Are we running out of time?
I'll give you 30 seconds.
I just want to say again, Dale, thanks for having us here. Dale is also a member of our advisory board. But again, Hunt, Taylor, I'm extremely proud of the work that you all have done. Michelle, keep on keeping on. We're right behind you.
It just brings tears to my eyes to know that these guys are taking a stand, that they want to be involved and they want to change things that are happening in our world. And like Hunt said, there's a lot of things that are talked about, but this is one thing that definitely needs to be in the forefront of people's mind. Hunt, tell them again where they can go and vote.
Okay, please go to celebratemydrive.com and enter your email and vote for the rest of the week. We'd really appreciate your help. Thanks so much.
Time for a break. Be right back.
Connect with us on social media. All the buttons are at mountaintalkradio.com. This is Mountain Talk.
7:51. And what?
I just wanted to. I wanted each of our students, Taylor and Hunt, to introduce themselves.
Okay.
And again, reiterate what. Go ahead, Taylor.
Oh, hi. My name is Taylor Hauselander. Well, we're part of the Mountain Home East program, and we made a video for State Farm's Distractive Driving, and it's celebratemydrive.com, and if you can vote there for our video.
Yep, so we worked with the East program and Mountain Home to create this video, and we don't want our work to be fruitless. It's not fruitless at this point, but we really need all y'all's votes and stuff on celebratemydrive.com. It'd be super appreciated, and it's money that's going into our school, which in turn helps our community. It helps our country, giving people a better education, better tools to have a better education. And so we need y'all to go to celebratemydrive.com, find Mountain Home Career Academies, and vote every day for the rest of the week.
And say your name again so people know who you are.
Hunt Nassari.
Very good.
And again, you know, it just gives me goosebumps. These two students here.
Doing
One
a
of
great
them
job.
I've known for a long time. I've known Hunt's family, mom and dad. They're great students. I'm extremely proud of them. Mountain Home should be extremely proud of them.
Yep.
The surrounding area, they are setting examples. They are examples. These are our future leaders, and I'm extremely proud of them.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Doing great.
This community is so great at supporting everything that happens in our community, and I just hope that they will take this and run with it, share it on every social media site to get people to go out and vote daily through Friday.
One thing I need to mention that's not on the subject of distracted driving, we need to recognize the United States Marines and the birthday today. And tomorrow's Veterans Day, November 11th. And, of course, the ceremony normally is at the square where the flags are at, but in inclement weather, they'll move it somewhere and announcements be made throughout the Mountain Home media. More than likely go down to the VFW Hall or something like that in case of inclement weather. But Veterans Day, the program, 11 o'clock, always 11:11 at 11 for Veterans Day. And happy birthday to the Marines, Proud Marines Bob Zadora, Coach Zorman, Dan Hall, and others.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, thank you, veterans. Thank you very much.
We had a wonderful Veterans Appreciation Dinner last night at ASU campus, hosted by First Baptist Church. Some loaded cats were great. We had a speaker, Major Ken Kuhn, whose objective is working with suicide prevention in our military, and that show will air. We got him on Saturday, straight from the horse's mouth, 8:30 Saturday morning, 4:30 Saturday afternoon. I think a rerun again on Sunday at 9:30. So very important subject matter there. Got a minute left. Michelle, you want another donut?
No, Dale, I'm
Minutes of winning.
gonna save them for you.
Exactly.
No, I didn't have a donut.
Well, Dale, I'll see you again tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
so.
I'll be here with Jay
Spalding.
Salvation Army, and
Yep,
can you
kickoff.
believe Christmas is
No,
that close?
no.
Oh my goodness!
No, and apparently we're going to have a big kickoff for the kettle ringing November 20th at the Walmart, Mountain Home Walmart. So yeah, but I'll save all that for tomorrow. Michelle, thanks again for all your hard work.
Thank you.
And once again, that web address is Celebrate My Drive. Enter your email address, date of birth, even if you're old like me, Sheila.
You have to be 14, at least 14.
19 what? 19.
58. Good old rock and roll.
You're braver than I am. I wouldn't say that.
But we had all the good music, you know.
That's true. We did, didn't we?
We did. That wraps it up. Be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.